What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage decided to do a little bit of Caliente live. What's going on, Bo? Bo, you say you having some technical experiences on your end a while ago. Well, I'm here to help you out, Bo. Maybe we can walk you through and do some troubleshooting. See if we can figure out what's going on with your Goldwing. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of Coke with Chris. Coke with Chris. Man, it's been almost too hot to ride. So depending on where you live, man, it's been smoking hot, but I think the weather is fixing to break. What's the temperature like where you live? Has it been hot? Enjoying some cold beverage. It's been hot, y'all. I've been working on this Goldwing, trying to get it put back together. We're going to be doing some live in the Caliente garage today. Phone line is going to be open 901-468-9032. We're going to be talking about my new Goldwing. And also, what y'all think of my center hat, my Ride Connect. Y'all think about this center hat. What's going on, Michael Wheatley? Hope you guys can hear me okay. Can you guys hear me okay on your end? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Smash up the likes. We're going to do this thing live today. Bo is watching. What's up, Mark Meldrum? Mark said, how do I like my new ride now that I've had it for a month or so? That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be talking about. How many of you guys out there have the 21 Goldwing, or do you have the previous model Goldwing? What's up, Fred? I see you, my brother. We even got a little YouTube going this morning. Trying to make sure everything is working properly. Kind of starting out to a slow start. Bo Jackson, what kind of technical difficulties have you experienced? Y'all got a lot going on here in the Caliente garage. As y'all can see behind me, y'all see that 21 Honda Goldwing is broke down. Broke down in a good way, more like disassembled. Bo Jackson, you say you've been having some battery issues. What's up, Lawrence Sylvester? Says you can hear us well. If y'all guys want to get on with your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage, my phone line is wide open right now. 901-468-9032. If you want to get on with your boy Chris. I know some of you guys have been emailing me because you guys been having some technical problems. You want to give me a call? We can talk about it right here in the Caliente garage. Michael Weekly says he won a wing, but he currently ride a 84 CB650 SC Nighthawk. Michael, how you like that Nighthawk? I see you there, Tippy J. What's up, man? Nice machine. Your boy Chris just doing it in the Caliente garage. And also, we're going to be playing some What's in the Box. If you guys would like to guess at what's in the box, right behind me is a box. If you guys want to play What's in the Box, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to guess what's in the box. Lee Watson. Lee, you say you got the 2020? Mark says, dang right, he has an 08. What a machine. As y'all can see, I got the 21 Honda Goldwing. I got it disassembled. I should have it back up. I'm hoping in the next week or two at the max. I should have it put back together by then. Tippy J says, all good. Where y'all guys tuning in from? What part of the country are you checking in from? The phone line is open, 901-468-9032. If you guys want to get on with your boy Chris. Fred says he from Myrtle City, Chicago. Myrtle City, Chicago. I hear you. Lee Watson says he's from Hinesville, Arkansas. Mark Meldrum is from Marine City, Michigan. Where y'all tuning in from? What part of the country? I'm trying to see how far these videos get out. Tippy J said he's from Memphis. What part of Memphis you from, Tippy? Philip Tyler said he's from Sheffield, England. Okay. Lawrence Sylvester from St. Louis, Missouri. Nima Harris from Fredericksburg, Virginia. David Smith, DeKalb, Mississippi. Michael Weekly, Atlanta. Man, I appreciate you guys tuning in to your boy Chris out here in the Caliente garage. I'm hoping to have his bike put back together probably in the next week. Probably at the latest, maybe a week or two. I should have his bike put back together. If you guys been keeping up with my video, I've been talking about this battery voltage gauge. When I first purchased the Goldwing, a couple of days after I purchased it, I went to crank it. I went to start it up, and the next thing, it wouldn't start. So I was trying to figure out what was going on with it, because the battery was showing that it had plenty of voltage, but come to find out that the cranking amps, it didn't have enough cranking amps. So I installed a battery tender quick disconnect, and so far I haven't had any problems with it. But I come to find out that the 2100 Goldwing doesn't have a battery light on it. It doesn't have a voltage gauge on it. It didn't have any of that. If you guys been keeping up with my video, I've been talking about that. And so I installed a onboard real-time voltage gauge. Have you guys watched that video? What did you think about it? Of me drilling into the Honda Goldwing and installing that voltage gauge. What do you guys think about that? What's up, Philip Tyler? I'm enjoying it, my brother. I see you asking me how am I enjoying the new wing. I'm enjoying it. So far, so good. Clyde Strickland. He's in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. I see you there, my brother. But I've been talking about my battery voltage gauge, and so I drilled and put me a real-time battery voltage gauge on this 2100 Goldwing, because I believe that every Honda Goldwing owner should have a battery voltage gauge. So for the life of me, I don't know why the manufacturer did not install a battery voltage gauge. I mean, you have an alternator on the bike and you have a battery on the bike, just like a car. So why would you not have a battery voltage gauge on the motorcycle? How many of you actually have a battery voltage gauge, an aftermarket, installed on your bike? Because it didn't come from the factory like that. Now on my 2016, I did install a battery voltage gauge. But after I put that video up, I was actually reading some of your comments, and I think a lot of you was reading too much into my video. You know, I talked about how to install it. I showed you guys how to run the wiring. I even talked about exactly where to connect it on the bike, which is the fuse box. And I thought we had a clear understanding. I thought I made it simple and easy. And some of you started questioning my connection, my connectivity. You know, some of you was thinking that I had it connected in such a way that when I cut the bike off, that the battery voltage gauge is still running. And if that was the case, that will slowly pull the battery down over time. But I'm here to tell you that is just not the case. You know, I've been wiring up electrical jobs since I was probably 6 or 7 years old. You know, I got into doing that type of work when I was a kid. So I've been doing it so long I can do it with my eyes closed. But I know some of you was thinking that I wired it up to where the voltage gauge stays on when the bike is off, and that's not the case. That is just not the case. And also in that video, some of you was wondering where did I pick up my battery voltage gauge. And that battery voltage gauge that I installed on my Honda Goldwing was a battery voltage gauge that I've had for many years just in my toolbox. I think the company that made it probably went out of business, or they're no longer around. I'm not even sure, but I couldn't provide you guys with a link on where to pick up a battery voltage gauge for your Honda Goldwing. So I wanted to show you guys a battery voltage gauge that you can pick up online. I actually bought several of these. If you guys watch the video of me installing the fuse panel breaker box in my left saddlebag, if you guys noticed that when I turn on the bike, I was getting a voltage reading within inside of the box. And this is what I had connected inside of that box. And you guys can pick these up online, because some of you was wondering about the link of my voltage gauge that I installed. Well, like I said, that battery voltage gauge was from a long time ago, and so you can actually pick these up online. They're called a digital voltage gauge meter, and it's made by, let's see who it's made by. Because I bought several of them. I apologize. I should have had this information already. It's made by Kinkstecks. Kinstecks. I'll put it down in the description of this video if you guys want to order you a battery voltage gauge for your Honda Goldwing. And like I said, you can get these on Amazon. I bought about 3 or 4 of them. And but the battery voltage gauge that I put on my Goldwing, I didn't have a link for it, but this would be a great substitution. You can pick these up on Amazon for like $10. I will include a link in the description. They're very easy to hook up, and I know a lot of you may not be comfortable with connecting things to your electrical box, or you may not feel comfortable with electrical jobs. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. It's real easy. I mean, it's so easy a caveman can do it. So it's only 2 wires, and you have a red wire and you have a black wire. Your red wire is the positive, your black wire is a negative, and this is gonna connect directly to your fuse box on your Honda Goldwing. Inside of your fuse box is 2 screws. One is a positive and one is a negative. Okay, and you're gonna just connect just 2 wires. You're gonna take a Phillips head screw driver and you're going to attach these 2 screws. I'm gonna pull up a diagram. Now you got, some of you can see this and some of you may not, but I am going to pull up a diagram. Now in the diagram, you should see at the top left, you see where it says ACC terminal. You're gonna have 2 screws there, and that's the ACC stands for accessory terminal. That means that when you turn on your ignition, you're gonna get power to those 2 screws. One is gonna be negative, one is gonna be positive. Okay, so looking at the diagram, you got 2 screws. Very simple. A lot of you already know how to hook this up. If you know how to hook it up, this is not for you. This is for the ones that may not be comfortable with connecting a battery voltage gauge on their Honda Goldwing. Okay, so how do you hook this up? You got a red wire and you have a black wire. So in front of me I have a battery, and this battery is gonna simulate the battery that's on a motorcycle, which this is a 12-volt battery. Okay, it's not enough cranking amps to crank the motorcycle, but it's still 12 volts. So this is how you're gonna do it. You got 2 wires. Black wire is gonna be your negative. Okay, red wire, that's gonna be your positive. Okay, just don't let them, we don't want them to touch. Excuse me, I'm doing this live, y'all, in the Caliente garage. Okay, don't let them touch, because that will blow a fuse. Because in that fuse box, remember, 2 screws, positive, negative, it's on a 5-amp circuit. So if you touch them 2 together, it's gonna blow the fuse. Okay, it's a fail safe. Okay, now looking at the battery, if you see at the top of the battery, you have red and you have black. The red is positive, black is negative. Okay, and I'm trying to do this and show you guys how to connect it. You're gonna take the black, which is gonna be your, now do this with the bike off. Okay, don't do it with the bike running or the switch on. Make sure the bike is completely off. Now once I connect the positive, you're gonna see the fuel light pop on. I mean, you're gonna see the battery gauge pop on, and I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, you see it came on. Very simple. That's how you hook it up on your bike. It's just that simple. 2 screws, one positive, one negative. Red go to the positive and the black goes to the negative. Okay, it's just that simple. So for some of you out there that's been watching my videos, that's always finding fault, because there's a lot of you fault finders out there, and you guys take pride in looking for any mistakes. If I say something incorrect, or if something don't look right, you guys call me out on it quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. I have to be perfect. You know, I have to be Michael Jordan out here in the Caliente garage, because you guys are something else. Okay, so this is how you hook up that battery voltage gauge. It's not hard. It's just 2 positive and negative. It's the same way on the bike. Now when you turn on your key, this is gonna turn on. Okay, when you turn off the key, it's gonna turn off. It's called an accessory terminal. That means it only comes on as an accessory. So this is going to tell you the power that's in your battery. Now, once you crank the bike up, in about 5 seconds, the alternator is going to kick on, and you're going to see that number jump up to about 14.4. Okay? For the life of me, I don't know why Honda did not install a battery voltage gauge on the new Goldwing. And when people hear me talk about the Goldwing, a lot of you accuse me of bashing the Goldwing. A lot of you accuse me of not liking the Goldwing. I've always supported Honda, but I point out things that the bike need, and it may not be what you want to hear, but I try to tell you guys the truth. Okay, so stop looking for all of the fault in my videos and trying to find anything that you can find that I'm not doing right. I've been doing this a long time, since I was a kid. I can do this in the with my eyes closed in the dark with my hands tied. So it's very simple. It doesn't take a college degree. It doesn't take a master's degree. You don't have to have a 4.0 GPA. It's so easy. Even a caveman can do it. 2 wires, positive and negative. That's it. So for you guys that watches my videos and always trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, there is no fault. Stop fault finding. Okay? Now, with this battery voltage gauge on the back, which I don't have it in front of me, it comes with a double-sided piece of tape, or you can buy some 3M tape. You can stick this anywhere on your Goldwing that you like. You can stick it on your fuel cover. You can stick it on your dash, wherever you want to stick it. You don't have to drill into your Goldwing like I did to attach a battery voltage light. You don't have to do that. I know a lot of you are not comfortable with drilling into your bike. One of the questions I got was, is that going to void my warranty? Well, if drilling or putting on an accessory onto my Goldwing voids my warranty, there's a lot of people out there with voided warranties. So stop trying to find fault in what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Okay? But for you guys out there that have a Honda Goldwing, your Honda Goldwing did not come with a battery voltage gauge. It did not. So you don't know what the power is in your battery. You don't know if you're sitting there listening to the radio, you don't know if your battery is going down or if it's maintaining a charge. You don't know if your alternator is putting out proper voltage. You don't know anything. You're just riding around on a motorcycle. And once you crank the bike up, the alternator is what's keeping the bike running. The alternator is charging the battery. Well, what happens if the alternator goes out? If the alternator goes out, you won't know it. You would not have a clue if your alternator goes out. When you would find out your alternator has went out is when your battery start dragging and it's slow to crank, or it won't crank at all. And now you're trying to figure out what's wrong with my bike. Well, if you'd had a battery voltage gauge on your bike, you would have been able to monitor your battery and your alternator in real time. So it's things like that that I try to do to help people out. Stop finding fault in my videos. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a long time. But you guys could do it too. I'm here to tell you, it doesn't take a college degree to hook this up. Every Goldwing owner should have a battery voltage gauge on their bike. For the life of me, I don't know why Honda didn't put a battery voltage gauge on their bike. This is a $10 part. $10. I paid $10 off of eBay. A correction, I paid $10 off of Amazon for this. So I just wanted to show you guys. Now, what if you don't want to use this style? What if you don't like this style? There are other styles. Okay. Here's another style of battery voltage gauge. This is called the Caliente. The part number is 4218. That's right. The Caliente 4218 is another style battery voltage. This is actually a light. It's not a digital gauge. So there are several kinds out there you could get. I'm gonna open this up and kind of show you guys how this looks. Okay. Comes with the directions. If you need to read directions, some of you must read the directions. For me, I don't read directions. Well, every now and then I do, but for the most part, I can pretty much figure it out without directions. Okay. Now, I'm gonna open this up for you guys so you guys can see it, and hopefully you guys can see this. I'll take this off. Okay, let me open this up. This is a black one by Caliente. It's a different style, but it does the same thing. Okay, I think this was about $50 online. I can't remember the price, but I will put in the description where you guys can pick this up. It connects the same way. Now I'm gonna grab my crimps and I'm gonna connect this for you. I'm gonna do it the same way as we did the digital voltage gauge, just to show you guys how it works. So let me stand by for just a second. I'm gonna grab my crimps, okay? Stand by. Okay, I grabbed my crimps. Before we do that, let's do this here. If you guys would like to take a crack at what's in this box that's sitting behind me, if you guys would like to take a guess at what's in this box that's behind me, I have a box directly behind me. Can you guys guess what's in that box? If you can guess what's in the box, the phone line is open. 901-468-9032 if you guys want to guess what's in the box. We're playing Guess What's in the Box, and you're on with Caliente live in the Caliente garage. Okay, now back to the battery voltage gauge. This is a Caliente brand. It works the same way as the digital one that I showed you. Now, for some reason, I don't know why you can't see the end, so I'm gonna try to find. Okay, let me snip this off, and I'm gonna expose the wires. There's those two wires again. Remember, positive, negative, the same setup. Rule, it doesn't change. Okay, I'm gonna expose the positive. It doesn't matter which one you do first. The same thing. Okay. Sit those down. Okay. Same setup. Very simple. It's going to go to your fuse box. Same setup. Let me go back to the diagram. Remember, ACC, accessory. Red is positive. Okay. Black is negative. Top left corner. Your fuse box may look a little different, but the principle is still the same. Okay. Now, same principle. Black, negative. Red, positive. Stand by, caller. Stand by 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Red is positive. Black is negative. You're going to take the battery. This battery illustrates the battery that's on your motorcycle. Red being positive, black being negative. So we're going to take the red, hook it to the positive. We're going to take the black, hook it to the negative. Now, make sure that your motorcycle is off when you do this. You don't want to touch. You don't want the wires to touch because it'll blow your 5 amp fuse. Okay? I'm fixing to connect the negative, and you're going to watch the lights come on, illustrating as if you cranked up your motorcycle. Can y'all see it light up? Okay. So when you cut your motorcycle off, you're not going to have any power because you hooked it to an accessory terminal. Okay. When you crank the bike up, you're going to see it light up like so. Okay. This voltage gauge is lights. Red represents that the battery is low, and it goes yellow to green, letting you know that your battery is charged. So every motorcycle owner needs a battery voltage gauge on their motorcycle. This is a Caliente brand. It came with the double-sided tape. Okay, you can stick it anywhere on your motorcycle, feed the wire down your bike, and connect it to the fuse box. So for you viewers out there that's always looking for fault, this is the easiest way to connect it to your fuse box. It's not the only way. It's the easiest way. So if you guys are uncomfortable, just follow the steps and you will be fine. Trust me. So when you're in the Caliente garage, we're talking about my battery voltage gauge. We're talking about my 2100 Goldwing. We're going live to the phone. 901-468-9032. Go ahead, caller. You're on with Caliente, live in the Caliente garage.
Chris Caliente, I watch your videos. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, my name is Bo Jackson out of Raleigh, North Carolina, man. I've been watching your videos now probably about a year and a half, 2 years.
What's up, Bo?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Man, we doing fine. You're on with Caliente. Drinking a little.
Hey,
what's up?
I got a question. We was on the same topic. You're on the same topic what happened to me this morning.
Okay.
I went to take my wife's battery out of the car because she didn't know what she was doing. Took the battery out of the car, and I turned around. I said, you know what, I'm going to try if I can see if I can find this Goldwing. I ain't rode it about 2 or 3 days. And Mr. Caliente, when I turned my ignition on, my lights did not come on. The bike didn't do nothing. What's the problem? I need some help. I love riding my bike. I need some help. So
you went to turn the bike on, and you didn't have any power, no lights, nothing. It was just dead.
Dead as a doorknob, and I have one of those voltmeter gauges you were showing, and I got my models on.
Okay.
Amazon. I'm sorry, Amazon.
Okay.
So after I rode the bike, the last time I rode the bike, my volts was up like 14.3
okay.
off the bike. Didn't ever get back on the bike until I decided to crank it this morning.
Okay.
She didn't do nothing.
Okay. So you didn't have.
I don't know if my wife put roots on my battery on my bike or what. I don't know.
So you didn't have no lights. You didn't have no gauges. Nothing was on. It was just dead when you turned the key.
It was dead when I turned the key and hit the start.
Okay.
The light didn't even come on the bike, so I didn't even bother hitting the start button.
Right. Well, that could be that could be several things. For example, you could have left something on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and over time, it could have drew down the battery. You know, that is a scenario. Depending on how you have your things wired. You know, you have some people that wired their accessories straight to the battery. Or they may have a cutoff switch, but they didn't cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
So you could run down the battery over time because that device is pulling amps when the bike is not running.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility. Another possibility is that your alternator may not be charging.
Wow, right.
Okay, so what happens if your alternator is not charging? Okay, basically what happens is when you crank your bike up, your battery turns the starter, the starter turns the flywheel, and it starts the bike up. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The alternator kicks on, and it puts voltage back over in the battery and keeps that battery charging as the battery is being drained. So it's actually putting more power in than it's putting out. So it's charging the battery. So your battery cells is storing that power, right? But what happens if your alternator, for some reason, stops charging, for whatever the reasons may be, If it stopped charging, now your car is running off of your battery. So what's going to happen after so much time, the battery is just going to lose its voltage or its amperage, and it's just going to die because the battery power is decreasing. So the alternator is designed to put the voltage back into the battery. So you don't have that problem. Okay? Now, another scenario, you could have a dead cell in your battery. So your alternator could be putting amps back over in your battery, but your cells is not holding the charge. So in other words, you can have a bad battery because it's not holding the charge. So when you crank the vehicle up, it's running off the alternator. That's why on some of the older vehicles, if you remember back in the day, when you crank the car up, how guys would check to see if their alternator is working, they would unhook the battery.
Yeah, the positive.
Right.
Yeah.
They would unhook the battery to see if the engine is still running. If it's still running, then that means it's running off the alternator. Okay, that was the old school way of doing things. The new school way may be totally different. With these new vehicles, you may unhook your battery and it still may be running.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, you unhook your battery and it may cut off as a fail safe. So you can't go by that. Now on some of the older vehicles you could, but on the newer vehicles you can't go by that. So getting back to what I was trying to say, that you could have a bad alternator that's not charging or not putting out the proper voltage. Even if it is running, it may not be putting out enough amps. Or you could have a battery that's not maintaining its charge because the cells are dying or dead or bad, in other words. So you can have a bad battery. Or you could have left a device on that was running with the ignition switch off if you had it wired straight to the battery. That's why I recommend that you put a battery voltage gauge on your bike so you can see in real time exactly what your battery is doing. If you guys watch my video, when I'm riding my 2016 Honda Goldwing, in the left speaker is a display, and it's actually giving me my voltage. So I know that when I'm riding and I look over at my speaker grill, I know mentally that my alternator is charging. Now that doesn't mean that the battery can die down the road at some point. It only has a certain lifespan. It's not going to last forever. But I know my alternator is charging. So that's the point of having a battery voltage gauge on your bike. And for the life of me, I don't know why Honda did not install it on their Goldwings. So every Goldwing owner needs a battery voltage gauge, because what's going to happen, they're going to run into the same problem you run into. Because at some point, your battery is going to die. It's going to lose its ability to be able to hold the charge. So when you go to crank your bike, you're going to hear click, 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 or you may not hear nothing at all. And so you're going to be at a point to where, is my battery bad? Is my alternator charging? See, you don't know because you don't even have a voltage gauge. And one more thing, let me add this. You want to make sure your terminals are tight, because if your terminals are loose, that can also not allow the vehicle or motorcycle to crank. You want to make sure your batteries have a good connection and that the terminals are tight. So all of that ties in together.
That's right. You said something earlier, and I admire your videos. I wish people just stop hating and congratulate your videos, because your videos, I know for a fact, taught me a lot. Like you said, the voltmeter. I didn't know that you can tie it into your fuse box. You're talking about. I got mine on the switch, so if my speaker's not lit up with my LED lights, my voltmeter's not going to come on.
Right.
So that's something I learned new today, just by listening to what you were saying. I'm like, wow, okay, you can do it that way too.
Right.
So like I said, your videos, I don't know about anybody else, don't care about anybody else, but your videos do me good. And you keep up the good work and all that good stuff, and you're gonna get haters.
Right.
You're gonna get haters. I just, We wouldn't even worry about it.
Right. Well, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't claim to know everything because I don't know everything.
So it is
that
what
I know,
is.
I know what I know, and that I don't, I don't. If something is good, I'll tell you if it's good. If it's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. So I don't try to be an expert in everything. I just only know what I know, and I don't mind sharing it. And the Honda Goldwing is a great bike. Some people think I was bashing the bike. They thought I was putting the bike down. I was only raising the bar because Honda watches these videos as well, and companies love your feedback. They want to know.
The time I bought a voltmeter was when I had the Honda the Goldwing the 1500. I kept riding down the road with my stereo system.
You there, Bo?
So, yeah.
Look like we have a bad connection there, Bo. We have a bad connection. For some reason, we lost Bo. If you guys want to call in, if you got a question for your boy Chris, the phone line is wide open. 901-468-9032. And also, I'm playing What's in the Box. If you guys can look right over my shoulder, there toward the front of the Goldwing is a white box. I hope you guys can see it. It's a white box. I'm hoping that you guys can see that box. I'm not sure about the lighting for some of you, but directly over my shoulder is a white box. If you guys want to guess what's in the box, you can give me a call right now. 901-468-9032. Go ahead, caller. You're on with Caliente live in the Caliente garage. Seems like we're having some technical difficulties. You're going to have to try to call back. I'm not sure what's going on with the phone line, but it's wide open right now. 901-468-9032. If you want to try to call back. In the meanwhile, I'm going to read some of your comments. A lot of you guys are tuning in here on my YouTube live. Go ahead, you're on with Caliente. Go ahead, you're on with Caliente. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, turn your radio down.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
You on with Caliente live in the Caliente garage. Who we got?
It's Big Bo from LA, man. What's going on with you, Mr. Caliente?
What's up, Big Bo from LA?
From LA, man. LA.
What's going on out there in LA?
Your video, and you were speaking on that indicator to let you know about your battery voltage and your alternator, and I definitely I do one on my 2005 Goldwing, and it really makes a difference. And mine happen to come with 2 USB plugs.
Okay.
So I also can charge as I'm rolling, and also keep an eye on my alternator.
Right.
And when my bike is off, believe it or not, because I heard you make a comment, I guess one of your people commented on how it stays on. Now, mine stays on, and I had it wired up for that purpose. So if my bike is off and I want to charge my phone,
Right.
I still can. I don't have to have it in the auxiliary mode. So I asked him, will that drain my battery? Now, my Goldwing comes with a clock. He said it's going to use about the same amount of voltage that is used to run your clock. So I said, yeah, leave it like it is. But it's a beautiful thing to have, man. And like you said, if I look down when I'm riding and I notice, boom, I'm at 14 point something. And I'm happy. When I cut the bike off, it's usually at about 12.7, 12.6. So I'm happy with that too. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you 1,000%.
Now,
It really is.
now, so you said the way you got yours wired, yours is connected directly. Yours is wired to when you cut your bike off, your gauge still shows you the battery voltage.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Now,
if you want to plug in a USB plug,
right,
charge your phone or whatever. Yeah,
right,
it has the power for it right there too.
right. Well, the only problem with that is that if your bike stays off, the voltage meter is going to slowly pull your battery down.
Now, like I said, I asked my mechanic that because I'm not good with electrical. I like the way
Right.
you explained it, where I could have did it myself.
Right,
I took it to the shop behind the dealer, and he wired it up.
right,
And he said that your clock stays on. And I said, yeah, I noticed my clock stays on. He said it's going to take about the same amount of power. Like if I go outside right now, the meter is in blue. Mine lights up in blue.
What?
It'll probably still be saying it's about 12.6, 12.7.
What year is your Goldwing?
It's a 2005.
And the clock stays on. Is that did that clock come from Honda? Is that an OEM clock or was that an aftermarket clock?
Yeah. No, that clock came with the bike.
Okay.
Like if I go outside right now, my clock is showing. The time
Okay.
is right there showing.
Okay.
And
But
then if you look on the right hand side of the bike is where I had him put the meter. I have a blue light showing,
right.
and it's showing me what the meter of the battery is. And then if you look over there on the left hand side of the bike, of course, up toward the top where the gauges is, you see my clock.
Right. But but your battery voltage meter
Yes.
is an aftermarket part that you had put on the bike.
Yes, I had
Right.
to buy that separate as a matter of fact.
Right.
I went to Wing
Right.
stuff and ordered it off of there.
Right. So it's pulling voltage.
Yes, it is.
Now the only way to determine how much the voltage is pulling is you would have to do a amp draw test with a multimeter.
Okay, not good. Not good, you off. Let me tell you something. I learned from Mr. Caliente. When I pull my bike in, I immediately plug it in the trunk. I immediately,
Okay.
if I'm done with it for the day,
Right.
I immediately plug it in on the trickle charger.
Okay.
So no matter what,
Right.
that 2005 Goldwing is always fired up hot, ready to roll.
Right.
Turn that key and get that brake.
Right. I was gonna get to that, but you're correct in what you're saying. But to just keep things simple, when you hook up that aftermarket part on your bike, whether it's a clock, if it's a 12-volt accessory, it's gonna pull some voltage. I mean, it may only be pulling a few milliamps, but it's pulling something. Okay. Now
Yeah,
over
it's
time,
definitely
right.
pulling something.
Right. Now over time, it could pull your battery down if you haven't cranked the bike up, or if you haven't driven the bike, or if your bike been sitting up for a long period of time. Okay. Now, in your case, when you arrive back home from your riding, you just plug in your charger, and you keep the bike hot that way. And then when you're ready to ride, you unplug the bike and you take off and you ride. Which
That's 100% correct.
right, and that will work. That will work. But the point is, over time, if you didn't plug it in, let's just say it's the winter time and the snow moved in. Let's say you got snowed in for a couple weeks or a month. It could pull your battery down depending on how many amps that is pulling. And the only way to know how many amps is pulling, it may be a tag on the device that'll tell you how many amps it pulled, or you can do a amp draw test with a multimeter, and you can connect it and it'll tell you exactly how many amps is pulling. It may only be a few milliamps. But if it was my bike personally, I would connect it in such a way that when you turn the ignition on, you can see your voltage. That's the way I would do it. Now, the way, everybody can set their bikes up how they want to. I'm not going to say it's the right or the wrong way. But sometimes one day turns into 2 days, and 2 day may turn into a week. A week may turn into a month. And when you was only planning on being off the bike for a couple of days, it may turn out to be a couple of months. And if you forgot to plug it in for some reason, then it could pull your battery down. So I recommend hooking it up in such a way that it only comes on when you turn on the switch. But you can hook it up the way that you have done your bike. You can do that.
Don't get me wrong. Let me show you what I noticed about that 2005. Like, for example, I park and we kick back chilling, and I turn on the auxiliary. My other little small lights with the part that runs the radio control panel, all the little lights still stay on too.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So on the left-hand side of the bike, Honda gave me the 12 volt.
Okay.
So that runs off when I hit the auxiliary.
Right.
Now, say for example, I'm getting ready to go in and grab something to eat or whatever, and I just want to plug my phone up.
Right.
Now, when I turn the bike off and take my key out, I might want to just leave it on the charger in my little glove compartment and let it continue to finish charging.
Right.
Without having to leave my key on my bike. See, I'm in LA because I heard you say something about snowing, so it do snow there, but I don't have that problem out here in LA when it comes to the snow. And I believe if you have a Goldwing and you spend that much money on your Goldwing, the minute you pull your bike into the garage, you should put that thing on a trickle charger.
Right.
For the pennies that it takes to save your battery, and I run that for me, you'll probably get about 5 years out of your battery if you plug it in every time you're not using that bike.
Okay. Well, once again, Bo, I'm not trying to. Everybody can set their bikes up the way they want to. What works best for you may work differently for me, or what works best for me may not work for somebody else. You have to set your bike up, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of having a Goldwing. You can set it up any way you want to. That's best for you. Okay.
So what you're saying is true. You're saying over a period of time, if you're not keeping it in the garage and you forget to plug it up, something tragic happens, you got to leave the country or whatever. When you come back, your battery dead due to the fact of the way mine is hooked up. It will drain it, and I totally understand what you're saying.
Over time it could. Now somebody else may not be as disciplined, because you said when you ride, you soon you get home, you plug your bike back up. Correct?
That's right.
Right.
That's
so
right.
so you're so you're disciplined, where the next person may pull in the garage or park it under a carport or put it in a storage building or wherever they keep their bikes. They may not have an opportunity to plug it up. So
and that's true too.
So my advice is just for the standard rider. Everybody is different. Okay? So for the standard rider, just hook it up in such a
access to plug it up the way I do, then you do need to hook it up the way you speaking on hooking it up.
Right.
Therefore you have a longer lifespan. But anybody know, regardless of what kind of bike it is, those batteries are so little. It's hard not to keep them charged up or ride your bike, because it's gonna go dead.
Right.
You might get a month out of it and then go back out there and it might not start. You know what I'm saying?
And also make sure
it's very wise to keep that trickle charger on your bike. Even if you have a stitching cord and you gotta go yank that stitching cord out to that carport every 3 days, you better yank that stitching cord out to that carport and charge that battery up.
Yeah, I prefer. I know
it's a Goldwing.
Right. It's a Goldwing. I prefer a battery maintainer over a trickle charge. Sometimes we use the word trickle charge. It may be a battery maintainer. But you want to make sure that your charging device has basically a smart processor that shuts off once the battery gets so much, once it charges itself to a certain point, because you could actually overcharge the battery, and you could actually, because you got some chargers out there that don't shut off. They just keep pumping voltage into that. They just keep pumping amps into the battery, and over time it kills the battery. So you want to make sure you invest in a good, smart maintainer battery maintainer that's going to shut itself off in the event that it doesn't overcharge the battery. So if you see a battery charger for like $10, I wouldn't buy it. You want to get a good one. So there's a lot of ones out on the market. I'm not going to recommend a certain one at this point, but just make sure you get a good one that cuts itself off, so it doesn't overcharge your battery, and because otherwise you could kill the battery that way too by keep charging it when it doesn't need to be charged. So,
there was a guy that was on right before I called you, named Bo. I don't know exactly where that gentleman was from, but one thing I want to piggyback on what he said is that you have helped me out also too.
Okay.
I have told you that 100 times, and I think every time I talk to you, I'm going to tell you that. And anybody who's listening, and you a hater, it is just because you a hater. And I told him he needs more haters.
right.
That's going to make him strive that much harder.
Yeah. Well,
You understand what I'm saying? I'm proud of you, my brother.
thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am. And you did brought me a long ways with that Goldwing, and it is the most luxurious motorcycle in the world, man. It really is.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I
And
appreciate
you keep
it.
on doing what you're doing, and let the haters keep on hating on you, my brother.
Right.
There's a lot of us that's proud of you. There's a lot of us that needed your assistance and your help. That man called you about a battery in a car.
Right.
You took your time and broke it all the way down to that man from A to Z.
Yeah.
You took that man.
Mitch.
And that's the thing. You're not getting a penny for it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You giving us something to help us save some money in our pocket. I heard you sit there and tell them how to wire it up. Do it this simple way, just like this. You said you've been doing this since you was a kid, and I believe you. And I really do, man. Anything you say, I take it to heart.
Yeah, I've been doing this.
I really do.
I've been doing this since I was a kid, man. When I was 6 years old, when I grew up, we grew up real poor, and the house that we lived in had aluminum wiring, and all of the outlets in the house had, I guess, over time they just fell apart, burned out, whatever. They didn't hold up. I was a kid, and at 6 years old, I went throughout my mother's house, and I changed out all the electrical outlets in my mother's house when I was 6 years old. So I went outside to the outside meter box or breaker box, depending on where you live and what you want to call it. I killed all the power in the house. I went around every room and I changed every electrical outlet in my mother's house when I was 6 years old. So I've been doing this a long time. So
See, that's what you can't beat is experience. You can't beat that.
So a lot of times people
you got all the right tools, like I have noticed in the Caliente garage. You got all the tools to make the job work right. Like when I seen you drill that hole in that 2021 Goldwing, I didn't even twitch. Because I knew you had already peeped it out. I knew you already knew what you was doing, and I knew it was going to come out exactly the way it came out.
Yeah, thank
like
you, Bo.
It was factory done, or you took it to a dealer and got it done.
Right, but notice in that video when I shut the engine off, people thought I had it connected to where it stays on. When I specifically said and showed this is where you connect it within the fuse box. But it's sometimes it's like people watch to find the fault. It's like, let me see if anything is wrong with what he's doing or what he's saying. And so I just want people to know.
Let them haters hate, man.
Yeah, I just want people to know that I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not going to tell you guys anything that I don't know. If I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know it. I'm just reading some of the comments. There's a lot of comments. A lot of you guys are tuning in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. On with your boy Chris in the Caliente garage. Mitch Newstad said, Chris, stop giving the trolls the energy. I'm not giving them energy, my brother. I'm not giving them energy, but I just want you guys to know that I know what I'm doing. So, just like one guy said, my breaker box was going to be making noise going down the road. Hey, Bo.
Let them hate, man.
Bo.
Let them hate.
Stand by. Stand by. You're on with Caliente, live in the Caliente garage.
Hey,
Hey, now who we got?
This is Dan in Atlanta.
This who in Atlanta?
Dan.
Dan?
Yeah.
What's going on, Dan, in Atlanta?
Hey man, I got a 2018 Goldwing and DCT, just love it a lot. And I want to talk to you about the dark side stuff and changing tires.
Okay.
Because I got a nail in my back tire at 8,000 miles, and I went ahead and tried dark siding. I did one of those run flat tires, and I put about 9,000 miles on it, but I had some concerns because a guy in the club down here was saying, insurance companies frown on it, and if something happens, they won't cover you. Do you have an opinion on that? Have you heard anything about that?
Man, if somebody gave me $1 for every time what somebody said, I'll be rich. If you're having any doubt, you can always call your insurance company and get verification. But to my knowledge, that's not that's as long as your tire is DOT approved. But I would recommend talking to your insurance company if you have any questions about it. But a lot of times, people will comment about things that they heard somebody say. Yeah. I heard this or I heard that, and they don't really know. So you have to be careful of that.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to your insurance company and see what they tell you.
Well, so then the last question I wanted to ask you about is actually changing the tire. I know you got that fancy machine, but
yes.
For the rest of those guys, have you ever heard of this Max Motors tire changer? OL Max Motors. That's all one word. Tire changer. Have you ever heard of that? It comes out of Poland.
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. It's a little thing that can sit on a tabletop. And it's like $325. And I just wondered if you or if any of your listeners have heard of such a thing, I'd love to hear their opinion.
Oh, okay. Now is this a manual tire changer?
Yes, sir. No power to it. And it comes with, it's even got a balancer. It just looks better than the one that you get at Harbor Freight.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it, but if you want to send me a link, I'll be sure to put it up for my viewers to check it out.
Okay.
I'll be sure
to.
Will. How long you been watching my videos, Dan?
Oh, I've been watching it for a long time.
Okay, I appreciate it. Hopefully my videos have been inspiring to you, and hopefully I've been able to motivate you and help you figure out some things maybe that you didn't know.
Well, I've had mine for a few years, and back when you were saying you didn't really like the new ones, I was kind of like, oh, that's too bad. I wish you wanted to try, But I was super excited when you tricked everybody into your new one there. So I've been watching you.
Let me ask you a question, Dan. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. But before, let me do this. If anybody want to guess what's in the box, behind me is a box next to my Honda Goldwing. If anybody want to take a guess at what they think might be in this box that's behind me, phone line is open, 901-468-9032. Yeah, Dan. You still there? We still there, Dan? Dan. Okay, I was getting some a lot of feedback. If you guys call, make sure you turn your radio down, turn your audio down, because it's gonna give a lot of feedback. If any of you guys are watching this feed and you want to get on with your boy Chris, you got any questions, any comments, or any concerns, now is the time. Now is the time. 901-468-9032 if you want to get on with your boy Chris. And we're also playing What's in the Box. Would you guys like to take a guess at what's in the box? It's a white box there behind me, and maybe you guys would like to guess what's in that box. If you guys think you may know what's in that box, give me a call. 901-468-9032. And I'm going to read some of these comments. David Phillips says, my videos are great to watch and very informative. I appreciate you, David. Tom Tambelli, Bellini, he said, you're the best, no BS. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, Sean. Tommy Daniels says, I'm so skinny, my bikes look like no one is on it going down the road. That's pretty bad. Mitch Newstad says, he's 300 pounds. He's fat going down the road. You on with your boy Caliente, live in the Caliente garage. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, this is Kenneth Joseph from Beaumont, Texas.
Kenneth Joseph from Beaumont, Texas?
Yes, sir. Beaumont, Texas.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I just want to say, man, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, I got a 2015 Goldwing anniversary, and I bought that Goldwing because you had it on your website, and I was always watching your website. And anytime I think I need to find out something that wasn't working right or I had a question about it, I go to your website and look it up. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching my vids and supporting your boy Chris. And I'm reading a comment now from Pat Van Winkle says, appreciate you showing those videos on the 21 Goldwing and taking the fairing off. All for free. Always drop a like on those videos. Thank you for what you're doing. Hey, I appreciate that, Pat Van Winkle. But yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Yes, sir.
Now
and
you
I think what you got in that box, I think you got that backrest for your 2021.
You think I got the backrest for the 2021?
Yes, sir. I'm guessing that's what that is.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir. I think that's my final answer on that. That's a pretty big box.
Do you need a lifeline? Huh?
Yeah, if I can get a lifeline to get me a little bit closer.
You got to get your own lifeline now. I can't get the lifeline for you.
Oh, Lord.
Man.
Well, I ain't got no help right now.
Okay. Well, I'll be announcing within this video. If you guys stay tuned, I'm going to announce what's in that box. But you think it's a backrest?
I think it's the backrest.
You think it's a
Yes,
backrest?
sir.
Okay. And you calling from Texas, right?
Right from Texas.
Okay, well, stay tuned to this video, to this live feed, and I'm going to announce here in a little bit exactly what's in that box.
Yes, sir. I'm going to watch the whole video.
Okay, I appreciate you, man.
You have a blessed day, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hope to see you up there in Memphis one of these days.
Come on through. Come on through.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I sure will.
All right, thank you.
All right, Chris.
All right, thank you, Kenneth.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. We're on with your boy Chris, live in the Caliente garage. A lot of you guys are watching the live feed. I want you to put where you are located, where you guys are watching from, and smash up those likes. I'm just sitting here reading some of your comments. There's so many comments here. I'm just checking them out. Just kind of reading some of your comments. David Smith says, looking good. David Smith says, Honda is not the company they used to be. Well, now a lot of companies are cutting back. You know, they giving you less and charging you more. What do you guys think of my center hat? What do you guys think of that? There's those center 50s. What y'all think? You know, Center actually sent me this hat. What y'all think of that? Go ahead, you're on with Caliente, live in the Caliente garage.
Hey, Caliente, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Who is this?
My name is Carol. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia. My husband is a long-time subscriber and watcher of your show.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Carol, you said Carol?
Yes.
Okay, Carol from Atlanta. All righty.
Yes. So,
what's on your mind?
He got me hooked in on watching the show as well, and he's looking to get a Goldwing and all due to you. So we want to tell you thank you for your lessons and everything that you've been sharing with the world. Okay,
I appreciate it. Got the ladies watching, y'all. So you
Yes.
So you gonna be riding?
What I think is in the box.
Okay, what do you think is in this box?
A fuse panel.
So you think in this big old giant box is a fuse panel?
well, we saw you build the fuse box for your bike,
right?
And I know you mentioned that you went to go get one and they didn't have it, so you decided to build your own,
right?
So we thinking that you bought one anyway, just in case. As a backup.
Oh, okay. So you think it's a fuse box in the big box?
Yes.
Now, when I went to, let me say this. If anybody out there is watching this feed and you have a Honda Goldwing and you plan on adding accessories to your Goldwing, the first thing or the first accessory that I recommend you buy would be a fuse block. That's the first accessory that you guys are going to need if you plan on adding any accessories. Majority of the Goldwing owners that I know, everybody at some point is going to want to add accessories, and you want those accessories running independently on the bike. You don't want it tied into your electrical system. You only want it to get its power from the battery. So the point I'm making is that if you buy a Goldwing, the first, before you start buying shiny pieces and all these different accessories, you need to get you a fuse block. So I went to Electrical Connection because I buy a lot of things from them. They make good products. I went to buy a fuse block from Electrical Connection, and they was out of stock. So I did the next best thing, and I created my own fuse block. And if you guys been watching my videos, it turned out really, really well. So
right,
yeah, so it works real good. Now all of my accessories run independently on the Goldwing. Each one of them have their own terminal. If a fuse blow, I'll be able to go straight to that fuse without taking off my seat. And that's one of the reasons why I put it into the saddlebag, is because I didn't want to take off my seat if I have a problem. And on these motorcycles, you have very limited space. So I put it in the saddlebag. So in the event that something blows, one of the fuse, I can go straight in the saddlebag and change out that fuse. So I appreciate y'all guys watching the video, and hopefully you guys learned something. But behind me is a box. And you think that it's a fuse box because when I went to buy one, they was out of it, even though I made one. So you think what's in that box is a fuse box. What did your husband say?
He said the same thing. And I can tell you this: as soon as he get his Goldwing, we're gonna ride up. I ride the Spider.
Oh, you ride the Spider?
I ride the spider. We're gonna make a trip and come up and see you.
Okay, well let me know. And you guys are in the you said Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. I should be coming through there soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling me.
That'll be perfect. And again, just thank you so much for your videos. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I never thought I'd be interested in bikes, but it helps a great deal. So we appreciate you. So keep up the good work.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, caller. You're on with Caliente live in the Caliente garage.
Good afternoon, Chris. How you doing, everybody?
I'm doing great. Who is this?
This is Pat in San Antonio, Texas. Said, listen, I've been watching you for a while, and I guess the last time I was on, I saw where you guys was at Wing Ding, and one of your compadres there was being too cheap to want to buy a trailer hitch. And I was going to say to you, if you give me your address, I got a brand new one that fit a Goldwing. You could give it to the boy. So I just wanted to help out. You do a heck of a good job for everybody in the Goldwing community and with people in general. I'd say you do a great job. And I'm willing to give you this brand new trailer hitch that'll fit that boy's Goldwing, and you can help him put it on, and he can be real cheap there.
What year models would that trailer hitch fit?
It's supposed to fit an 08 to a 12, so I don't know if it goes to a 13 and a 14 and a 15 or not.
Okay.
But I know I had a 2012 myself, and the Goldwing just looks a little too high for me. So I'm one of them Harley owners right now, but I still like you Goldwing guys. You know, y'all do a good job, and
Right.
the team you ride with, y'all do a great job. And you know, if I can help somebody out, like I said, it's brand new. It ain't never been installed. It's a good old hitch. If you'd give me your address or something down the road, or I don't know how you do that.
Okay.
I'd be more than glad to ship it to you. And you can give it to that fellow that's needing a hitch for his Goldwing.
Do you have text messaging?
I do. If you like, I can give you a call on this number after you get off and get your address where I can mail this stuff out to you.
Well, this is what you can do. Yeah, you can text me your information. Well, text me your number. You know, just text me because I get a lot of calls and so go ahead and text me at the same number, 901-468-9032. Text me.
Sir.
Just text me and I will send you my shipping information, and you can send that trailer hitch over and we can get that thing installed for them.
Hey, sounds like a winner, buddy. Good talking to you. You got more to talk to, I'm sure. So I just wanted to make sure I could get a hold of you while you were on. So
I appreciate
good
it.
visiting with you. Keep up the good work, buddy.
Thank you.
Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye now.
All right, thank you. And you're on with your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage. I know some of you probably getting off work. Some of you may be riding along in your cars, and you know, some of you may be sitting back grilling out on your patio, got your feet kicked up. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to Caliente in the Caliente garage. And I'm just checking out some of your comments. Howard says that was the first thing he added to his Goldwing. Philip Tyler says, will I be towing a trailer with my new wing? You know, Philip, I think that is one of the biggest questions that I've been getting since I bought this new wing. Will I be towing a trailer? I'm sure at some point down the road, I will be towing a trailer, but I don't see it, not right now. I mean, it's going to happen. I just don't know when. But I have to be very careful with my words because people will try to, you know, they hold me accountable with every little thing I say. Well, you said you wasn't going to buy the bike and you bought the bike. And you said you wasn't going to dark side and you dark sided. People, hello. People have a right to change their mind, right? How many people have changed their mind? How many people maybe went out to look at a house and they was thinking about buying it? And they changed their mind for whatever the reasons may be. Maybe they went to look at a car and they told the salesman, yeah, I want this car. I'll be back on payday. And they changed their mind. You know, how many people went to a restaurant and said, you know, I'll have the steak. And before the waiter or waitress leave the table, they said, well, I changed my mind. I'd rather have the chicken. Why is it that when I change my mind, people get upset? Maybe upset is a strong word, but I mean, they try to hold me accountable. Well, you said you wasn't going to do such and such, and you did it. Well, people have a right to change their mind. How many women have been out on a date with a man and she thought about it and said, you know what? I changed my mind. How many guys was going to jump the broom and for some reason or another he went, I better not. He changed his mind. People, we have a right to change our minds. Okay? So let's not get it twisted. I'm not God. Y'all try to hold me to God status. I'm not God. I'm a regular man just like everybody else. Today I may feel a certain way. Tomorrow I may feel differently. But I do have a right to change my mind. So getting back to the original question, would I be hauling a trailer? I'm sure at some point down the road, I'm sure I will. Right now, it's not on my list. Today is not on my list. Now, that could change next week. So I hope that answered your question. Peter Breen said, out on the Goldwing, out on the Goldwing. Good afternoon, Chris. Danny said, it's 97 degrees. Woo, where you located, Danny? Adam Selfridge says, hello from Ireland. Tommy Daniel from Texas. Kenneth Bower from Ladysmith, Virginia. I appreciate you guys tuning in. A lot of people watching the live feed. Mitch says, Chris, I see advantages of both. Your setup is more dummy proof and gives your alternator diagnostic, which means good for me. But his is more useful in adding battery diagnostics. Okay. Kenneth Joseph said, Chris, my 2015 Goldwing left side fall light, turn signal, yellow light stopped working. What do you think the problem might be? The right side is not. The right side is fine. Well, it can only be two things. Either your bulb is blowed or you lost connection. So there may be a break somewhere in the line that caused that light to stop working. It's only one or two things. Either there's a break in the line, whether it was cut, whether it was melted by heat, or whether it pulled itself loose, or you got a blowed bulb. You just have to run it down, Kenneth. And I'm just checking out some of your comments. D Green says a trailer hitch is in the box. In about 3 more minutes, about 5 more minutes or so, I'm going to open this box. If you guys want to take a guess at what's in this box that's right behind me, there's a white box directly over my shoulder. I'm going to open this box up. Let you guys take a look at what's in the box. If you guys believe you know what's in the box, give me a call. 901-468-9032. SS Sponge Top says a mind changer in the box. Man, you guys are killing me. A mind changer in the box. That's pretty good. Chris, he also says Chris is the reason why I yearn for longer trips in any weather. I tell you what, man. I got on my Goldwing today. And when I sat on it, on my 2016, today, the first thing I said was, it was just the second I sat down, it was comfort. Just boom, comfort. That's the difference between this new Goldwing and the old Goldwing. I'm going to be talking about this in a later video. So you guys stay tuned to my channel. I'm going to be comparing the two. But when I sat on my older wing, and I hadn't been on it probably in a month, the second I sat on it, I went, it was just that comfortable. I don't get that when I sit on the 21. I'm just here to tell you. Now, am I saying it's a bad bike? I didn't say that. I know some of you will start putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said when I sat on my 2016, it was like pure luxury. Mitch says electrical connection gear rocks for those of us that don't have the extended comm to build our own. Yeah. If you guys are looking to buy a fuse block for your Goldwing, check out Electrical Connection, or you can give Lewis a call. I'll put all that information down in the description, or some of you can put it into the comment. Electrical Connection make great accessories, electrical accessories for your Goldwing. Electricalconnections.com. Okay, and I'm just checking out. Jeff Markham says a magic 8-ball in the box to help you change your mind. Man, y'all killing me. Albert Tucker, you got a backrest in that box. Dan Gray says highway pegs. Mitch says a Russell Daylong is my plan for a seat solution. Clyde Ediger says a new seat. Rick Bemis says, do you still have both bikes? Yes. And people have been calling me, actually offering to buy my bike. You know, several people have reached out and said, Chris, do you want to sell this new bike? Do you want to sell your 2016? And all I could think about was Grady on Fred Sanford when he said, nope. How much are you guys willing to pay for it? For the most luxurious motorcycle in the world? What would you pay me to get my bike? If I was gonna sell it. If I was gonna sell my 2016, which I'm not, but if I was, how much would you be willing to pay for it? Put that in the comment section. As a matter of fact, you can just text it to me, 901-468-9032. What are you willing to pay for that 2016, the most luxurious motorcycle in the world? 901-468-9032. Text me an offer. Lord Medley says speakers for my music is in the box. Rick is from Indy. Johnny Cobb said Goldwing stuff. You got to be more specific than that, Johnny. A lot of people tuning in. What do you guys think of my center hat? There's them center 50s. Center actually sent me this hat. Look at that. Ride Connect. My center hat. I'll be talking about these a little bit later. Now, I still have my pack talks. So don't think that I don't like these. I still have my pack talks. I actually like them both, and I'll be talking about it in a later video. But I still have my pack talks, okay? Center 50s. What do y'all think? So we've been on live for about an hour and a half now. Are you guys ready for me to open up the box? Would anybody like to take a guess at what's in that box before I open it? Somebody says a 5-finger discount for the 2016. Man, you killing me. SS Sponge top. Dennis Artis. Top market value. 6-8 said, do they cross talk between those two brands? Let me say this. If your group is riding with Cardo, or if your group is riding with Senna, you need to ride with whatever your group is riding with. If your group has Sennas, or they have Cardos, ride with whatever your group is riding with. That's my recommendation to you. Now, your question is, can you connect the two? If you want to maximize the performance of these headsets, I would not recommend doing that. Could you pair a Senna to a Cardo? You can. But it's best to ride with what your group is riding with. So whoever you're riding with, you guys need to get on the same page. If it's Sennas today, everybody ride with Sennas. If it's Cardos tomorrow, everybody ride with Cardos. But when you start trying to cross them and mix them, you're not going to get the best performance. So you can do it, but it's not going to be the best idea. You can do it. Kendall Joseph said, thanks for that information. Are y'all guys ready for me to open this box up? What do you guys think is in the box? All right, let's go ahead and open this thing up. You guys are ready? Smash up some likes if you're ready for me to open this box up. Mitch says you can, but why? 6-8 says a F4 windshield. Road Glide says when the pro corner speaks, people listen. Mitch says a box. Oh, Senna helmet. Man, I thought you guys was gonna guess what's in this box. All right, y'all, it's time to open up the box. Are you guys ready? You guys want to know what's in this box? Wham! Check that out. down. Ooh-wee. What y'all think? What do you think? Huh? What y'all think? What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? They said Chrome won't get you home. Ooh, look at the bling on that thing. This is how I do it in the Caliente garage. The Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat. Caliente work. I work like everybody else. And anyway, let me know what y'all think. Put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is your boy Chris. Nobody guessed it right. Nobody guessed it. What y'all think? Ooh, look at that. They said Chrome won't get you home. Man, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to sit these on down. Let's sit this down. Matter of fact, let's put these down. Let's put these down. What y'all think? I'm going to go ahead and end this live feed. If you guys have any questions or any comments, put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This is your boy Chris. Out in the Caliente garage. Out in the Caliente garage. And I will talk to you guys later. See ya.